Welcome to Programming with Python course again. Today we are going to go into the details of Python. Right? Let's start with the integrated development environment. What are the available IDEs for Python? Right? There are many tools, different IDEs for Python. Okay? But in this course, we are going to focus mainly on the Jupyter Notebook and Google Colab. These are important, commonly used in data science field. Now let's start with installing the Python. Python is very easy to install. If you go and visit to this www.python.org, you can just download the version to install. Right? Once you install, ideally integrated development and learning environment, IDLE is a built-in tools for the Python. Right? So ideally will be there. Ideally, you can use the command prompt and the shell environment to type the Python to write the program in Python. Other tools such as PyCharm, Visual Studios are also widely used in the among the Python developers. Among the data science, Jupyter is one of the key IDEs that many data scientist people like to use. And then Google Colab. Google Colab is very similar to Jupyter. Very similar to Jupyter. Is good for the collaborating. Right? Now, where do we install the Jupyter? Okay. Jupyter, especially the Jupyter Notebook will be used for this course. It is free software and easy to use and share the codes, collaborate very easily. All right. We will use Jupyter's main reason is because it's widely used in the data science and metadata scientists. All right. And then we use this Jupyter with the Google Colab. Okay. So that you can share the document easily. But what I encourage you all to go to the Jupyter website and then download the offline version so that even if you don't have the internet, you still can practice at home. Now let's talk about Google Colab. Okay, what is a Google Colab? All right, Google Colab is very similar to Jupyter Notebooks. It hosted in your Google Drive. Right. So if you have already registered and installed if you register an account in Google Drive, you can simply run this Google Colab in this environment, right? It runs on the cloud and sharing and collaboration make it easy. Okay. So if you how do we start it? After you register the Google Drive account, if you go and click on the left hand side, if you click on the new, you should be able to see like new folder, file upload, and so on, Google document. This is very common. I believe many of you have used it, right? But if you click furthermore, if you click on more, you should be able to see the Google Colab. In a case that you don't see the Google Colab, go to click on the Connect More apps and install the Google Colab. It is free. All right, it's a free version. We can use it. All right. If you have already installed, then you see the Google Colab. If you click, you go into this Google Colab working environment. Right. Then this is a window you will see it in your browser. Okay. So the first file name appear is called entitled 0.ipynb. Right. Let's start changing the file name to Python exercise 0.ipynb. You just need to click on the entitled and change it, like how you change your file names. Right. Okay, since we talk about the file names, I want to remind you again on the naming convention. All right. So when you give a name, either a file name or variables, don't put the space in the name itself, and then don't put any special characters. Do not start with a number. If you want to make the name more readable, use underscore. All right. Remember to give them meaningful names. This is just to remind you again. We have learned about this. Right now. Let's go to Google Colab. Either in Jupyter or Google Colab, we usually call it as a cell, all right, where you write the code. Okay, here I show with the arrows, you can see that there's a cell. All right, this is where you are going to write the code. Okay, so if you after you write the code, you want to run this particular cell, you just click Control and Enter together. Click Control and Enter together. The code will combine and run. All right. So let's say now I want to run and then I want to create a new cell below. You just click Alt and Enter. Right? It will run and then insert a new cell. But let's say I don't want to insert a new cell, I just want to run it, and then you just click Shift plus Enter. This is how you run. All right, so it's very easy. Okay. First, let's start writing the Python code. Right, we will start writing the Python code for converting a currency. So for us to convert the currency to currencies, right? How many variables do we need? Okay, we need two, right? So first of all, what we need the original currency that we want to exchange, all right? And then new currencies that we want to get. Okay, so there's a two variables. What we have to do is we have to know the exchange rates, and then we have to calculate this. Okay, let's just write in the program. All right, here very simple. First of all, I define the USD. Okay, so I'm going to convert from USD to pound. All right, so let's say I define the USD as a 2000. Then for me to compute the British pounds, I just need to multiply USD with the exchange rates. Here the exchange rate by the given is 0.82, right? 0.82 pound per USD. So I just need to multiply these two. Okay, then if I click Control and Enter, you will get the result, but it will not appear, right? For us to appear the values, we need to use a print. Okay, print of PP, then you will see the result, right? But the number doesn't make any sense. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to write their sentence. All right, so USD, this amount is equivalent to this amount. So we just write USD plus STR USD plus is equivalent to STR PP. Okay. Here you can see there's a plus sign, here is STR. Don't worry about it. We will later cover all this in the next lesson. All right. Okay. So now if I run Control and Enter, you will see the USD 2000 is equivalent to 1640. It makes more sense. Okay. But we can also write the printing in another format without this plus and all this using the string format approach. Again, don't worry, we will cover the string format later, right? So here you see the USD is equivalent to British pound, okay? Dot format, and then I put the USD amount and PP amount, all right? So now I also ask the user to put the USD amount, enter the amount in USD. Whatever amount that you want to type, you type as a you type it bit, right? You just type the number, and then this one we convert it to British pound, and then this and that's it. All right. So it's very easy to run a code in Python. Okay. Next, I'm going to cover how to import the different modules. All right. Python has a lot of built-in libraries, and for us to run some of the program to do some of the exercise, we just need to import the different modules. Of course, we need to know which modules to be imported. All right, and then either in Google Colab or Jupyter, there are already when you install the software, there are already pre-installed libraries. But sometimes you need to install this library. All right, for us to be able to use this library. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Right now, I want to check the version of the Python. I need to use the SYS library, system library. Okay, so I need to use a keyword called import. Right, import SYS. I need to import this library first before using this version. Okay, before checking the version. Similarly, NumPy and Pandas are well-known libraries for data science. Okay, so we can import the library using the alliance. Just now, just put the import SYS, right? So now I can use the import NumPy as NP, import Panda as NP. Okay, so whenever I want to use a NumPy, I just need to call it as a NP. Okay, this is how we import it. All right. So by now we have already learned a few Python mainly for you to familiarize with the Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to go through some of the Python exercise. All right. In the previous lesson, we talked about the GitHub and GitHub repo. Here in the link below, I give you the repo, GitHub repo link for the exercise. You just need to clone this repo and download it to your local system, work in the local systems, or you upload to the Google Drive, Google Colab, and then work on it. And then once you are ready, you just need to push back to the repo. All right, that's all for this week. We will cover more on the different libraries in the next lesson. Thank you.